Alright guys, we're gonna get right into it. My top 7 favorite dumbbell shoulder exercises. We're gonna hit all 3 heads of the shoulder muscle with all 3 muscle building mechanisms. So we got mechanical tension, metabolic stress, and muscle damage. So this first exercise right here, actually I got it from Phil Heath, and I really like doing it because it allows you to put more overload right on the lateral deltoid of the shoulder. And this first one, some of you guys might think it's bad form, but what it's going to allow us to do, because we're going to transition into the metabolic stress phase where we go maximum mind-muscle connection, time under tension stuff. But this one, it's going to allow us to put more overload right on the lateral deltoid. And if a 7-time Mr. Olympia winner does it, I think it's a pretty good exercise. So what you're going to do, start off with fairly heavy dumbbells, at least as far as like doing a lat raise is concerned. And you're going to put your chest forward a little bit. Momentum. And once you get to the point where you can't go all the way up, I want you guys to do 6 more reps, halfway right here. Alright, so now we're going to do Arnold Schwarzenegger's favorite anterior deltoid exercise, besides the Arnold press, of course, because that was named after him. So what we're going to do with this one is, we're working right here. Now keep in mind, I didn't explain this in the intro. I was trying to get right into it. You guys said I talk too much. Anterior deltoid is going to be the front of the shoulder. Lateral deltoid, the biggest part of your shoulder right here, and the rear deltoid all the way back here. So this one, it's going to be more focused on the anterior deltoid. We're also going to hit the lateral deltoid as well. So you're going to start off, not like this. You're going to start off like this, a slight bend of the knees, and instead of stopping right here, we're going to try to go extend all the way up past our head. So pick a fairly heavy weight. I would say stick in the 8 to 12 repetition range with that one. Go for about 4 total sets. Alright, so next up, we're going to do a little superset. Once again, we're going to focus on mechanical tension. And now, when working out the shoulder, there's really only a few different kind of movements we can do. We can go outward like this, or we can go overhead press. Obviously, putting more overload and putting more weight is much easier to go overhead, but I find my shoulders respond best if I can think of a way to add like a lot more overload while going with this sort of movement. So this is my favorite exercise to do that. And I'm going to use straps here just so it doesn't like hold my form right here. Alright, so with this one we're going to do a superset, and you're going to kind of once again like bend down, keep that chest up. So you can go fairly heavy on this. I'm using 40s right here. You can definitely go, I would say almost twice as much weight as you would do on a dumbbell lat raise. Grab these. So right into a superset. Same thing, drop the weight by about 30-40%. So now we're going to do a more classic version of the dumbbell lat raise by putting the maximum amount of metabolic stress. So remember, starting off, we did the mechanical tension where we kind of swung, trying to put more overload on the deltoid. Now we're gonna work the lateral deltoid with maximum mind muscle control. So what you're gonna do, pick a weight that you can control easily for about 15 total reps. And there's gonna be, once again, a superset with this to add more time under tension. So this one, keep your chest up. And, sorry, scoot up here. So, nice and slow and control. And a classic mistake on this one is people going too high. Like, you know, when you go all the way up there, it takes the contraction right off your lateral deltoid. So with this one, I like to go right about here. And once again, you're not resting at the bottom of the movement, you're keeping the deltoid under tension. This is gonna work right here, lateral deltoid. Shoulders are absolutely shot. I did a full shoulder workout before I even started filming, so I'm just trying to power through this. Usually I'd be able to do about 15 there. So 15 clean reps, right like this, and then you're gonna get to the point where you can't go all the way up. What you're gonna do is you're gonna keep your chest up, you're gonna half rep it for another 8 to 12. And what this is gonna do is just putting more time under tension right on the lateral deltoid. Now we're gonna do the classic dumbbell shoulder press, but I'm gonna show you a variation to put more muscle damage, which is basically going down slow and controlled on the eccentric portion of the rep. So instead of really rushing these reps like you see a lot of people do, by going down slow and controlled right here, we're actually gonna create more healthy micro tears right on the lateral deltoid, which is gonna propel it into growth. So I'm not gonna go super heavy because this is my first shoulder workout in a while. Alright, so what we're gonna do here, so we're gonna swing these up. So watch this. 1, 2, 3, explode up. 2, 3. Ah, I got tired there. So my shoulders are completely shot. I've done about 40 sets of lateral deltoid and overall shoulder work, but what you want to do is ideally pick a weight you can control 8 to 12 times. I picked too heavy a weight trying to show you. So explode up. 1, 2, 3. Explode up. 1, 2, 3. Explode up. 1, 2, 3. So you guys get the picture. I'm trying to keep it real with you guys. Show you even when I completely fail on a rep. So I would say you go about 4 to 5 total sets on that. 8 to 12 rep range, nice and heavy. And you guys are gonna definitely build that thickness in the lateral head. One other variation with dumbbells that's actually even harder is what you could do is you could hold one up the whole time and then still go to a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Come up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And you guys get the picture. We're gonna put some metabolic stress right on our rear deltoid, and then we're gonna superset it and put more time under tension right on the lateral deltoid. So obviously anytime you're kind of extending your shoulder out, you're indirectly fatiguing your lateral deltoid, but the first one is gonna be more emphasis right on the lateral deltoid. Excuse me, right on the rear deltoid. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna bend over, nice like athletic stance. Think of like a basketball season's back. Think of like Gary Payton from back in the day, like playing basketball. Nice and controlled. If somebody pushes you right here, you shouldn't fall backwards. So nice and safe. And then bend down a little more. Arms at a dead hang. And you're gonna rotate your palm outward. So it's not here, it's here. get a little more time under tension. After we're doing about 12 to 15 there, we're gonna go here, straight up. It's a subtle little movement to put more tension right on that lateral deltoid. Now we're gonna get into the 45-degree incline rear delt fly. Now you wanna start up the bench right at about a 45-degree angle. And I'm gonna show you guys one variation to do with this with FST7. We're basically really pumping blood into the muscle after the set. So this one is gonna be 2 different phases here. Now with this one, in order to emphasize the rear delt, we're not gonna go here. It's gonna be, so this part of your hand right here, it's gonna rotate out a little bit. So here we go. And make sure you're not going back like this. I see a lot of people, they go back like this. What you want to do is you want to go straight out while rotating your palm. And one other thing, don't pause and rest at the bottom of the movement. So you can make it a lot easier on yourself if you go like this. See how I'm resting right here? No tension on the rear delt. So what you want to do is keep that rear delt under constant tension the entire time. So we're going to do that by not going down all the way. So you see the difference in doing that versus doing this. So much more tension right on the rear delt. And then after, what you want to do, pump blood right into that rear delt. So you want to do that after every single set. Pump more blood and oxygen right into that rear delt muscle. Alright guys, so now completely fatigued every single head of the shoulder. And remember, if you guys saw my nuclei overload video, I'm gonna link my last 2 videos in the description below. I'm trying to train my trap just about every single day for the next month to force more nuclei into the cells. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get my trap work in, and I'm gonna finish strong on the deltoid. So this is my favorite one to just basically put a ton of metabolic stress on the traps and shoulders. We're gonna go really high rep seated shrugs, and indirectly it's gonna work the deltoid since we're already pre-fatigued. So on this one, try to go like literally 25 to 40 rep range. Squeeze every rep. If you want to emphasize the deltoids a little more, what you can do is flare out a tiny bit. See that subtle movement right there? Versus going straight up here. And that is absolutely killer. So crazy trap pump. Indirectly hit the deltoids.
What is up guys, Kevin Blaylock here, and I'm super excited to talk to you about the Alpha Lion Superhuman pre-workout that just came out. I was fortunate enough to try out 2 of the flavors, the watermelon and the cotton candy, which they were spot on. They really did a good job on those flavors. After sampling the product, it was in about 45 seconds to a minute afterwards, I started to feel that tingling sensation that I look forward to, and that burst of energy that I needed to get in the gym to go do what I needed to do. And that burst of energy, you know, it didn't just last through my workout, it lasted me throughout my whole day. You know, I'm a general contractor, I'm a developer, I have over 200 employees that depend on me. In order to run that company, I've got to be on point upstairs, I've got to be sharp, I've got to be on my toes, and it really helped me do that. Now in the gym, talking about my pump, I usually spend about 2 hours in the gym to do what I need to do. I ended up staying about another 30 to 45 minutes afterwards, doing more exercises than I normally do just to finish out that pump. So, but anyway guys, it was a great experience for me. The pump was there, the mental focus was there, The burst of energy that I needed was there. There was no post-workout crashes that I was, you know, worried about. I had a good experience with it, and I'm sure you guys will too.